Namaste book lovers, I am Shubhi Belwal from Team Booknerds with another member Vidushi, and in this video we are going to take you back into the black and white era where you would have spotted horse carriages instead of cars, or for finding a date would have gone to attend a ball party instead of swiping right on Tinder. Yes, we are talking about the old times, and in this video, we will be featuring the classic writers of English literature who were particularly born in the month of December. And we have a long list for you, so let's get started.
I hope you won't judge the rough condition of the next book too much because the book and its author both have a very special place in my heart. R.L. Stevenson was a Scottish novelist, poet, and travel writer, most known for his works such as Treasure Island, Kidnapped, and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Although at the start he was considered as an imitative essayist or only a children's writer, his reputation was soon established as a writer of originality and power. His essays are regarded as cogent and perspective renderings of aspects of human condition, and his novels are brilliant adventure stories with subtle moral overtones. I've already talked about this next author in another Book Nerds video, which you should totally check out, by the way, but still, so much remains to be said about him. Joseph Conrad was a Polish British writer regarded as one of the greatest novelists to write in the English language. Some of his notable works are The Heart of Darkness, Nostromo, and Lord Jim, amongst many others. Conrad is considered an early modernist, though his works had elements of 19th century realism. He wrote short stories and novels, many with a nautical setting, that depict the trials of the human spirit in the midst of what he saw as an impassive and inscrutable universe. He was always at heart a writer who sailed rather than a sailor who wrote. To Conrad, the sea meant above all the tragedy of loneliness, and he used these sailing experiences as a backdrop to many of his works.
Another classic writer we have today is John Milton, who is popular in the world of literature for the greatest epic poem in English, Paradise Lost. He was born on 9 December 1608 in London. As a child, he learned many languages: Spanish, French, Latin, Greek, and he is very popularly known for later on in his life influencing hugely the English civil wars and American and French Revolution. Paradise Lost was published in 12 volumes and tells the tale that how Satan tempted Adam and Eve, leading to their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Our next classic figure is American poet Emily Dickinson, who is known for getting popular posthumously when after her death her sister discovered hundreds of writings, poetries, and letters written by her. And soon she became one of the most beloved poet of American literature. Born on 10 December 1830 in a prominent family in Massachusetts, Emily Dickinson started writing poetry as a teenager, and her literary friends had a deep impact upon her. She spent the later years of her life in seclusion because of a tender emotional condition. Her poems included the themes like spirituality, death, immortality. Popularly known for her poem Because I Could Not Stop for Death, among many others, her works have been a source of inspiration for many artists. Gustave Flaubert was a highly influential French writer born on 12 December 1821. In the very early phase of his life, he was diagnosed with a serious nervous illness, which made him quit his law studies. So he retired home and took up literature. His debut novel, Madame Bovary is considered to be a masterpiece where he has transformed the common theme of tragic marriage and adultery into a humanistic work, which is regarded as a path breaking work in new realism in literature. Regarded as one of the most influential European writers of the 19th century, he is credited for taking French novel writing to new levels.
Anytime there's a mention of classical literature, this author will be remembered. Jane Austen was a prolific English novelist known for her popular books such as Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma, to name a few. In her work, she vividly depicts the English middle class life in the early 19th century and interprets critiques and comments upon the British landed gentry. She also often explores the dependence of women on marriage in the pursuit of favorable social standing and economic security. As such, her three early novels form a distinct group in which a strong element of literary satire accompanies the comic depiction of character and society. Through her works, Jane Austen has bound wit, realism, and her timeless style of prose to craft skillfully written novels that continue to captivate readers even after all this time.
Next on our list is Rudyard Kipling, English writer, journalist, and poet who got popular with his children's classic The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book is a collection of stories which features Mowgli, an Indian boy who is raised in the jungle by a pack of wolves. Rudyard Kipling was born on 30th December 1865 in India, and he later on went back to England for his studies. He was awarded with Nobel Prize in 1907, and for the skills of characterization, narration, imagination, and observation, he is considered to be one of the finest British writer. We all love classical literature as it connects us with the old times. It tells us about the past that has influenced our present, and it is very important because it broadens our perspective and reconnects us with history. So that is why we got to talk about this book here, Viriha by Krishna Gubili. The book Viriha talks about the 1.3 indentured laborers who were transported from India to other countries like Mauritius, South Africa for working in the sugarcane plantations. The book is a semi autobiographical novel where Krishna Gubili is also exploring his journey of finding the identity, the true identity of his great grandfather. The book also talks about millions of those Indians who were uprooted from their homeland and had to suffer in colonial times in India.